Today, we're unveiling what we call Trustero Intelligence. In short, this empowers users to ask GRC questions in plain language and get targeted contextual answers without having to dig through evidence folders, policy binders, past audit notes, or maybe it's even doing queries into IT systems that you have. This system is great at helping you find needles in haystacks. So it can search through piles and piles of data to get you answers with sourcing. And the way it does this is in a chat-like interface. So anybody who's used a chat system, like a ChatGPT or Gemini, this will feel very familiar to you, but it's got some things that make it especially well suited to this GRC domain. So in particular, it has to do with the data that we are able to source, and then your ability to actually configure which data it will go and look at. And so building on that foundation of all the data that we've got in here, we've built this interactive capability that allows you to essentially interrogate all of this GRC data that's in your system and actually have a back and forth dialogue with the system. So I'm going to jump in. Just like any other chat system, you've got previous chats over here. What's quite different about us is you can also lens in on particular things, and I'll show you this a little bit later. But for example, like if I only wanted to interrogate controls or even a particular control, I could do that. If I only wanted to look at policies, I could do that. That can be interesting if I wanted to answer questions, for example, about what I'm doing in theory, right? Which is what the policies are. And let's say I wanted to see what's actually happening, I could limit it to just looking at evidence. And then here in the middle is our chat window. So I'll transition here to doing the next portion of this, which is something from the IT side of the house. Let's do a question about MFA. Speaking of MFA, which came up in the last one. Do all users have MFA enabled for primary systems? And so this is one where you don't know for sure what's going on, but what you'll see is happening here is it's actually going to go and look at the evidence that's in the account. And so it's saying, based on Google Workspace user list titled such and such, it indicates that MFA is enforced for the majority of users. However, we've got some problems in here, and it's going to highlight what those are. And then again, citing in sources down here and telling us how it came to that conclusion. And then, so now I've found that I've got a problem and I want to do a follow-up. And so I say, okay, what are the steps to mitigating the risk that not all my Google Workspace users have MFA enabled? So how can I address this? What are some things that I can do to take care of it and give me some concrete steps I can take in order to fix this? And this type of thing, can, as you guys can see, the TI is very light on speed and very quick in terms of having its responses. And, for somebody who's, say, a little bit junior in the organization, or even somebody who just wants to have their thinking double checked or make sure that they're covering their bases, this can get you very actionable, specific feedback on your environment and things that you should be thinking about very, very quickly. So it really helps kind of accelerate some tasks, which can be really time consuming at times.